Now, there's another Dublin side who are in a big game this weekend. It is, of course, Fox or Cabin City. They're in their All-Ireland semi-final. And earlier on this week, Suzanne caught up with their manager, Pat Ring, to get his view ahead of the game.
Pat, thank you very much for joining me on the programme.
You're very welcome, Suzanne.
Well, you had a fantastic win over St Lawrence's of Kildare now 2 weeks ago, 5-10 to 1-3. First of all, congratulations on the victory. Did you expect that level of a win?
No, we didn't really, and as you know from your and my conversation the last time we spoke, even though we didn't announce it, I was away for that game.
Yes.
Because I had a prior arrangement with UCD international team. We were away in Shanghai, and it was booked last May, and obviously last May we weren't thinking, at that stage we hadn't even kicked the ball in the Dublin Championship, never mind Leinster, so I had a commitment to that which I had to keep, but yeah, look, it was. I've seen it on DVD since I came back, and yeah, it was a really, really good performance. It was very strong. And to answer your question, we didn't expect to win it that way.
Yes.
But look, in fairness, our players stood up. They were really strong. They just went at it in waves, and I think we seem to be in a much better place. We seem to be much mentally stronger than we were, this time last year. So hopefully that will get us through another game,
Yeah. And looking back at the game, 5-10 to 1-3. What have you learned from the game, or what kind of changes or anything would you make? I know it's very difficult looking back at a win, seeing what kind of what you could do better.
Yeah, well, I suppose we're all the time trying to improve.
Yes.
And the one thing I'll say about our players is that they're like sponges. They absorb huge amounts of information. And look, what we do is, and we always stick to the same routine. We always just take it one game at a time, and we do prepare fairly intensely for every game. And we do study the opposition. We don't get overly carried away with it, but we do look at it. 10% of our preparation is probably looking at the opposition and their key players. The rest, the other 90% is about ourselves. But look, we're looking to improve all the time. But certainly with what's ahead of us next Sunday against Carnacon, we'll probably need to put in the best performance we've ever done.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not familiar with the team. Are you familiar with this Mayo team? Is it something what are we expecting from them?
Yeah, I would be. You see, I was involved with Peter Clark and with Colin Carney in coaching the Mayo ladies senior team in 2013 and 2014.
Right.
And there would have been 7 or 8 of this team on that panel. So they're formidable. They're going for their 6th All-Ireland club senior title since 2000.
Right.
And they've also lost 2 or 3.
But they've always been there.
They've always been there or thereabouts. And yeah, people say that it's all about Cora Staunton. It is and it isn't. Yeah, she is a huge, huge part to play in that team. But they have 7 or 8 on the Mayo senior panel, and Mayo got to the last 4 this year, and Dublin beat them quite narrowly in the semi-finals. So that's what you're up against. You're up against a team that knows how to win, and they have strong players all over the pitch. So that's the big challenge for us on Sunday.
Yeah.
But look, we're going to give them a lot of respect. But once that whistle blows, we're going to have a go, because we're not here to show up the numbers or to just show up and leave them off. We're coming here to win.
Exactly.
And we're going to give it a right rattle, and we're going to go at it right from the off. We show them respect, but once that whistle goes, we're at it.
Yeah. And what have you been doing with the team over the last couple of weeks, preparing for coming into this Mayo game?
Yeah, trying to get a few injuries cleared up.
Yes.
And we played a squad game last night, and luckily now everyone is available for selection again.
Brilliant.
We had 3 players unavailable. We had only 19 players available for selection for the final against Lawrence's.
Yeah.
There was 1 away, and there was 2 or 3 injured. So from that respect, everyone now is available. We're back up to 22, 23 again, and that's important for us.
Yeah. And tell me a bit about who's involved with the team and working with them on a daily and weekly basis.
Yeah, well, look, I suppose we're really lucky, Suzanne, in that I suppose I have the title of team manager and whatever, but look, that's in name only. We have a very, very strong management structure here, in that we have Peter Clark is really he's the brains of the operation. He's in charge of all team affairs, and he's in charge of all tactics. Peter has the final say in what happens on the team. We all talk about it, we all agree things, but if there's a call to be made, Peter calls it.
Yeah.
And Angie McNally is in charge of all the coaching and the fitness. Colin Carney is our goalkeeping coach. And then we have Niall Callan, who has been with various senior teams within the club. He has 2 daughters that are former players that are living abroad now. Niall looks after all the stats and the day-to-day stuff. And Ina then is our female liaison officer, and she looks after the girls really well. And she looks after all the food, and she bakes for them, cooks for them. She has breakfast for them. She does everything for them. Brilliant. And they're really appreciative of it. So we have a really all-over good structure. I suppose my strength then would be on the organisational side, and I suppose bringing the whole thing together.
Yes.
But we're very lucky to have the likes of Peter and Angie and Colin and Niall and Ina on board. I mean, Peter and Angie and Colin have managed at the highest level, both in DCU, UCD. They've managed Dublin, managed Mayo. They've been involved with Monaghan. So there's a wealth of experience there, and the players know that, and they're responding really well. And I think there's the one thing that's there very strong between the management and the players, that there's a very, very strong trust there.
Yes.
And that shows. That really, really shows. We all trust each other. If there's an issue, we talk about it. We throw it all out in the open. We resolve it and we move on. And
that shows a good, strong team when there's reliance on each other as well as trust.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
there's no doubt.
The semi-final is on then this weekend. Are you hoping for good support?
We are, really. It's on at 2:00 in Bray Emmett, and the reason we played all our Leinster home games in Bray. We have a very good relationship with Bray, because our own pitch here in Cabinteely isn't suitable for fixtures of this level, because Croke Park and the Leinster Council up to now, they're required to take a gate receipt, and our pitch is quite open, so it's not suitable for that. So it's 2:00 in Bray. We're mobilising the troops within the club at the moment, and but to be fair, we've had a very good support at all our games from across Dublin. Really, I recognise a lot of people there from various clubs, and I suppose, look, I would have gone to, in years that we wouldn't have been involved, I would have gone to see other Dublin clubs involved, and I suppose, look, that probably comes back, it comes round, and so I suppose that's one Dublin club involved, and others kind of looking out for it, and I suppose they'd aspire to be involved like we are this year.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, we've got to take it as it's going, because, these things at club level, Suzanne, they come in cycles.
Yeah.
And, teams, apart from the likes of the great Ballyboden team who would have been around for 9 or 10 years, you get 3 or 4 good years at this. And this is our 5th year that we're now involved in. We've been involved in 3 Leinster campaigns in the last 5. So look, you have to grab it while it's going.
Brilliant. Well, Pat, thank you very much for joining me on the programme, and I wish you and the team the very best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much, Suzanne.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.